Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about something really exciting: the 2001 Kentucky quarter. You might think it's just a normal 25-cent coin, but some of these coins can be worth a lot of money. In fact, certain rare versions of the 2001 Kentucky quarter have been known to sell for as much as $9,000. That's right, what might look like just a regular coin in your pocket could actually be a valuable treasure. So, if you want to learn how this coin became so special, what its history is, and how to spot the errors that make it worth big money, then keep watching. First, let's start with some history. The 2001 Kentucky quarter is part of the United States Mint's 50-state quarters program. This program started in 1999, and it was a really popular project where the U.S. Mint released special quarters honoring each of the 50 states. They released a new quarter every few weeks, and each coin had a unique design related to the state it represented. Kentucky was the 15th state honored in this series, and its quarter came out in 2001. If you look closely at the coin, you'll see a small letter, P, which tells you the coin was made in the Philadelphia Mint. That's why we call it the 2001 Kentucky quarter. Now, about the design. On the front, or obverse side, of the coin, you'll see George Washington's face. This is the same design you'll find on all quarters, and it was created by John Flanagan. The real story is on the back, called the reverse side. Here, you'll find a picture of Federal Hill, which is a historic mansion located in Bardstown, Kentucky. This mansion is important because it inspired the song, My Old Kentucky Home, which was written by Stephen Foster. Along with the mansion, there's also a beautiful thoroughbred horse standing behind a wooden fence. This shows the importance of horse breeding and racing in Kentucky, which is famous for its horse farms. Above the design, you'll see the year 1792, which is the year Kentucky became a state. Even though millions of these quarters were made, in fact, over 700 million from the Philadelphia Mint alone, most of them are just worth their face value, which is 25 cents. But some of these coins have special mistakes or errors that happen during the minting process, and those errors make certain coins very rare and valuable. These mistakes can happen in many different ways, and collectors love to find them because they are unique and hard to come by. One type of error is called a double die error. This happens when the coin is stamped twice by the machine, but the second stamp is slightly off. This makes some parts of the design look like they are doubled or blurry. For example, the words, E pluribus unum, or, In God We Trust, might look like they have a shadow or extra lines behind the letters. If you find a 2001 Kentucky quarter with this kind of doubling, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This is because the doubling is rare and collectors want to add these error coins to their collections. Another error to look for is an off-center strike. This means the coin didn't line up properly when it was stamped, and part of the design is missing or pushed to one side. If the coin is off-center by about 20% to 50%, and you can still see the date and mint mark, it could be worth much more than its face value. Some off-center Kentucky quarters have sold for several $100s. The more off-center the coin is, usually the more valuable it becomes, but if it's too off-center and hard to tell what it is, then it might not be as valuable. Sometimes, coins can have what's called a clipped planchet. This happens when the coin blank, the metal piece that is supposed to be stamped, is not cut correctly. Instead of being a perfect round coin, part of the edge is missing or clipped off. These clipped coins can look really interesting and are also sought after by collectors. Depending on how big or noticeable the clip is, these coins can sell for anywhere from $50 to several $100s. There are also die cracks and cuds. A die crack happens when the metal die used to stamp the coin breaks or cracks. When this happens, it leaves raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface that weren't supposed to be there. A cud is when a piece of the die breaks off, leaving a raised bump or blob on the edge of the coin. These errors are usually less valuable than doubling or off-center strikes, but some rare and dramatic die cracks or cuds can be worth more than $100. One of the rarest and most valuable errors is the wrong planchet error. This happens when the coin is stamped on a blank metal piece meant for a different coin. For example, some 2001 Kentucky quarters were accidentally struck on dime planchets or other metal blanks. Since this is a huge mistake and very rare, coins with this error have been known to sell for thousands of dollars. One such Kentucky quarter struck on a wrong planchet reportedly sold for over $9,000. These are extremely rare and exciting finds for collectors. So at the words, how can you tell if you have one of these rare error coins? The first step is to take a close look at your 2001 Kentucky quarter. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to examine every detail. Look carefully horse, the mansion, and the edges. See if anything looks doubled, blurry, or off-center. Check the edges to see if there is a clip or any strange bumps or cracks. Also, feel the surface with your fingers to see if there are any raised lines or unusual shapes. Remember, never clean a coin if you think it might be valuable, because cleaning can reduce its worth. If you find something unusual, compare it to pictures online or in coin books. There are many websites and forums where collectors share pictures of error coins, so you can see if your coin matches any known errors. You can also send your coin to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These companies can tell you if your coin has an error and give it an official grade, which can help you sell it for a better price if you decide to do that. In terms of value, most 2001 Kentucky quarters are still just worth 25 cents if they don't have any errors. But the rare error coins can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more depending on their condition and how rare the error is. For example, a double die error or a coin struck on a wrong planchet can fetch thousands of dollars in auctions. Off-center strikes and clipped planchets are also valuable but usually not as expensive as the biggest errors. The lesson here is simple: it's always worth checking your coins carefully. You never know if you have a valuable coin hiding in your pocket change or coin collection. These error coins are special because they are unique mistakes that the US Mint didn't intend to make, and collectors love owning something rare and unusual. Thanks so much for watching and spending time learning about the 2001 Kentucky quarter. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss future videos about rare coins and collectibles. Also, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you want me to talk about other coins or collectibles.